Dozier does take out JW though, and Zeus has been able to rotate. Bomb's still not in place.
And that is the key point, thus. The bomb not in place. It has not been planted, and it won't be for a little while. Zeus is still using that slight gap in the smoke, but that's going to be taken away from him. Almost a tantrum spray. Give me back my vision.
Especially with all the utility that they have and the kits and the armor. That's so much being carried over. Not able to find any damage though. So it will come down to a 30th round. Again, FNATIC no strangers to OT, and Olaf no stranger to being the hero that brings them to it. These kills were big to keep FNATIC alive here on Inferno. Keep that 2-0 dream alive. They still have a full buy on this round, but so does Gambit. And they're going to go for the triple B pressure again. Going to be a lot harder for Olaf, for someone to take them down this point.
Tempting banana control once more. Both teams exchanging nades. Flusher needs to be careful there. He's taking a lot of damage. The Dren also took a little bit more than he'd be comfortable with from the Molotov.
So much utility just got dumped at Banana, and it was Gambit who come out the victors as they do get control, and they allow Dren to push a little bit deep. He will pull back though, and they will kind of reset into more of a default stance as Zeus makes his way back around to our side. Mo has the op on lane.
The silence is deafening until we start to hear the smoke connecting on the floor. Flashbangs out. Mo's been here time and time again. This flash is going to land in his eyes. Goes for the instant shot, but no one's home. Quad gets mollied. Dennis notices no one's sprinting out. That side is clear. Flashes also connecting from Gambit, but they're not able to capitalize. So a lot of utility that's being expended and not much in terms of results. Now, the start of the round that may definitely help the terrorists, but now we're getting towards this stage where time is such a huge issue. They've got to start making some of this stick, and the bomb is still dropped out in mid. They have to come back, pick that up, and go for some entries. There's going to be Flusher that's putting off a lot of the influence over on the other side of the map, but Olaf and Dennis are both coming in for kills, and it looks as though this bomb is going to get planted. The FNATIC really pulled this off from 14-8. They're on the brink of taking us to overtime.
Certainly looks that way, doesn't. Only 2 members left for Gambit, trying to make the retake happen, but Adren's already out all on Hobbit. He's doing a lot of damage, but the trade back comes from Dennis. And so there you have it, FNATIC. They forced another overtime in this tournament. They were the losers of it in 5 against CLG on Train. That's why they're here today. But now they have a chance to fight the 2-0. They still have the safety net of a third map if this doesn't go their way. And what a great play from FNATIC. The mid-round call that took place there to get control of they kept those 2 players in place at Banana. They were able to get some more entries on the A-bomb side. That was just so well managed by FNATIC. And so now we are going to be going to OT. The rule set is MR3 16K, so economy really not a factor in overtime. You basically get to throw everything at your opponent. Never really have to worry about saving or ecos or anything like that. The money's always usually going to be there, unless you just go crazy with triple sniper or something. And of course, it's a race to 19 rounds. An 18-18 split means a second overtime, just to kind of refresh your memory on how that all works.
What is he doing?
Something about, I wonder if, you know, one hand is Gambit and one hand is him, and he's talking about, you know, bad things that he wants to do to them.
Flusher could not look any more impressed. He's just done. He's just got my face.
Yeah, so they'll take some time to kind of take a bit of a chill pill here. When you go into extra rounds, you have to do a bit of a reset, have to talk things through, have to consider everything. Looks like they're just trying to blow off some steam. Again, they got put through the ringer yesterday on having to play a lot of rounds of Counter-Strike, only just to lose against CLG. Now they'll be called on to do it again. GAMBIT also no strangers to overtime. They were also in the losing end of an OT game. It was on overpass against CLG. So both these teams have suffered losses to CLG in extra rounds, actually.
It seems that the booth is quite vacant at the moment, so I assume the players have gone off to the bathroom. They were asking in regulation if that was possible, now that we are heading into overtime. And so I can give you a little bit of information as to how some of the buys are going down. Mo's gone for an AWP, and Zeus has gone for an M4. Everybody else is yet to buy a single thing. Doesn't really tell us a great deal. Kind of what we expect from those two.
Yeah, I mean, I expect them just to kind of keep things up. I mean, they were doing really well with, like, just triple pressure on Banana initially, whether that be Mo's op added to the typical people you see playing over there, which would be Adren and Hobbit. Every now and then I've seen Adren pick up a second op, but... And I mean, with so much money, they may consider it, but I mean, I feel like maybe not necessary, given the fact that they were usually able to control Banana pretty well without one. Meanwhile, FNATIC haven't bought anything yet, but again, all their options will be open to them. Didn't see too much special this game from either team. I mean, it was mostly just playing default and just making the right mid-round adjustments, just making the right calls to find gaps, and FNATIC certainly did that well enough to force the extra rounds.
Trying to keep his wrists loose after a whole bunch of CS. Dust. I have no idea how much time we have to fill right now, to be completely honest. But okay, one player's in the bathroom. We've just been informed.
So this depends if it's number 1 and number 2. Depends on how much time we have. It could either be like 30 seconds, or it could be like a few minutes. Just depends on the hustle.
All right. I was going to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is your first time in Sweden, right? First time at DreamHack.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? How's it been going?
The environment's awesome. I mean, it's actually really cool. And you guys are probably able to see it. Like, we had basically an open setup here with the stage. So the main stage is what you're looking at right now, and there's definitely a crowd brewing here in Sweden for the hometown team. But we're also basically in the middle of just one of the normal BYOC halls. So, I mean, there's lots of people who are just actually watching. Even if you don't see them in the crowd, they're probably watching from their stations all across the hall. And so, yeah, it's just really cool. There you see it. That's what we're in the middle of right now. So definitely lots of people in participation here at DreamHack Winter. It's really cool stuff just to be a part of it all.
Sorry, just dying in the corner for a second there.
And there you go.
Brilliant. Just in time for the overtime to begin. But yeah, there's a bunch of exhibitions. It is a very cool place to be, Jönköping. I definitely recommend you check it out if you have a chance, guys. But that's enough about
bodily functions and Sweden. Time to get into it. And it's a double up setup from Adren. Okay, cool. All right, then.
Back into the fray we will move. GAMBIT, FNATIC, and it's GAMBIT who draw first blood in the first overtime. Down goes JW, a linchpin on the side of FNATIC, who's been consistently solid, I would say. Olafmeister probably will be my pick of the best FNATIC player of this event overall, but JW is not far behind him. No, can't see a great deal. He's not going to rattle off a shot either. He's going to wait the opportune moment to strike. FNATIC haven't really got anything for their endeavor, though. I mean, they've teased with the idea. They haven't really pushed behind in these nades that they've been throwing out.
Have control of brackets, at least for a bit. They've already faded back. We see All still trying to challenge Adren over here at Banana, but a shot missed by Adren. He's forced to fall back and actually pulls the rotation back over as well because he's taking so much damage. So even Hobbit has drawn near. That actually kind of equalizes the defense back into default positions, which means FNATIC will have a bit of an easier time working up middle. But will they get past Mo's AWP wrapping Moto? That's going to be the big question. Smoking him out.
That shot does miss, and player actually just jumped over his second shot, so quite fortunate to survive with that guy hopping their way through onto Speedway, trying to get round the back of B. 16 seconds, Adren with the second AWP is in prime position to strike in the blink of an eye. FNATIC just get eradicated. Efficient killing in effect. GAMBIT do get the first round in overtime.
It can always be scary when they get control of CT spawn like that, but I feel like Mo handled it well, and so did Hobbit up top with the M4. Able to deliver a couple of key frags, and the op crossfire from spawn and back sight do ring out. So around goes the GAMBIT. They maintain the double op setup. This time Olaf will have the single op for FNATIC. They went for 5 AKs last time, so little bit of an adjustment. Olaf again going to see if he can't try to work things out over here on the B side. Adren will again get aggro with the AWP. Just playing the edge of this fire. Olaf just holding the tight angle on Carr. No one going to peek that far though. Still triple banana for Gambit, but no one's come out enough yet for a frag. JW though takes out Mo. That's one of the ops down in apartments.
Much better start as JW this time that will chime in for the first one. Of course, he was the first to fall. First casualty of overtime. Gambit, though, do have a rapid rotation. Zeus finds himself on the A side of the map, leaving Adren by himself with the AWP on B. FNATIC looking to get a move on. Two players coming up through short. Hobbit's lucky to survive. And this is where Dozier's position could be the difference maker. That could be the pillar they try and build off, but FNATIC, they're going to keep him waiting. They're teasing him at this point. Dozier actually looked away from his screen. That scared the crap out of me from his perspective there. I think he's looking at his teammate, but around him, bloodshed is ensuing. 2-on-2, Dozier is now going to strike from the shadows, but Olaf Meister's Tech 9 is up to the task. Adren against Olaf. Two AWPs in play. Enemy at the gate style. Gonna be peeking, and Olaf Meister gets the upper hand and brings us back into equality once more. Adren never looked in that one. And Olaf, the way he's been playing, you definitely wouldn't bet against him.
So FNATIC responds right back to Gambit, evening the score back up again. Olaf, so huge on this moto wrap right there with the op. Pulls out the Tech 9 as well. Finishes it off there on the end. And again, especially in overtime situations, Olaf's been so big for FNATIC. It was really the reason why they hung around a lot of that against CLG yesterday. Again, ever since that tough time on Mirage against C9, he's been so on point. That's a big round to win for FNATIC, thanks to mostly his efforts. As again, double lot still in effect for Gambit at 16, but Adren's kind of getting pushed off. Meanwhile, FNATIC still haven't really showed their hand just yet. They're just maintaining control of apartments, but Mo holding off brackets, taking Dennis down, so that's going to deny a lot to FNATIC. And he even finds JW in the apartments. This is devastating, but Crims is at least responding.
Mo able to land the shots into center mass and knocks a terrorist packing. And now Crims with a spray control. Able to drag this back into another tag team duo of Crims and Flusher, Hobbit and Adren. Now Hobbit's going to be playing solo for the time being, and he's going to get caught. Adren surely has been heard running up mid, and there's Crims to take him down. FNATIC will be taking the lead, 17-16, and
it's just the individual efforts from FNATIC. It was all off in the previous round. That time it was all Crims saving the day. It was looking so grim when Mo was popping off those op frags, but then all of a sudden Crims just rolls out with some really big frags. Here's the two of them, even able to get this pit player with the reset on the aim. Doesn't even need to see more than really just a sliver here to finish it off as well. As soon as Adren comes around, he's down. And so big plays from individual players give FNATIC the edge. The 2-0 still sitting out there now.
From 14-8 to 17-16. The first time that FNATIC have been in the lead. I want to...
Has to hurt if you're a Hobbit.
Oh, Gambit, I mean, they're in a situation at this point, Dust, where they're facing the very real possibility of being knocked out.
Yep.
FNATIC winning train on the brink of